All right, welcome everybody. Happy Monday. It's April 20th, 2026. We are live again to start another crazy week in the markets. Nothing can just be normal and easy, right? But if it were, you wouldn't learn anything. So we're going to get started and jump into that. I want to spend some time today. We'll analyze trades because I think you guys want to do some of that. But if you don't, I'm fine if we don't take a look at charts and we don't look at the portfolio. But I want to spend some time today. Let's start it off this way, and then we'll do kind of an abbreviated chart and trade session. We'll still get some on, so we'll still make some trades. I made a couple today already, so we'll keep an eye on what those are, and we'll look at the portfolio, which is in really, really, really good shape. So, like where we are. All right. That being said, I want to talk today about running your uh, running your trading business and really equating this to being a business. So, before we jump into a bunch of trades, I'm going to share some stuff with you, and I've been trying to share a little few things in the Discord and talking about these things, but it's not just about a bunch of strategies. Give me the strategy. What's this? Where can I find this? What do I do if this happens? What do I do if that happens? Okay. You need to first decide that this is going to be a business for you, because I think if you're here, you're serious about it because you've decided that, okay, I'm going to invest in my business or invest in myself. I'm going to join a service. Okay, maybe it's our service, 900 other services that you've been in, out of, what have you. Some people join, leave, come back, whatever. It's all good. I personally join several services and stay with it because I'm always just looking to learn something out there, whether it's in trading or business or life or whatever words. Hey, because I don't know everything. Okay, so the only way you're going to learn is, A, you have to read, but really you got to do. Because people only retain so much of what they read, but if you don't just do it, because you're seeing us here, if you're watching the members trades, my trades, Igor's trades, you're constantly seeing adjustments in different scenarios. Okay? You have no idea how everything's going to perform in any type of market. But if you have that trade plan, and I believe if you treat trading like a business, it's going to make you more successful in the long term. That being said, let me share a document with you here. And this is actually one of 30 modules in this document, but I thought it was a good one to talk about today. And I'll run through it quickly. We'll try to do it in about 15 minutes. But why income trading is a business and how to run it like one. I don't even know if we need the word income. You can take out income and just say why trading is a business and how to run it like one. Okay. Your capital is your inventory. Okay. Your risks are your operating costs. Okay. And then growth here is the goal, like it is in any business. If you don't have a written business plan, okay, then you're not super serious about trading or running a business. You wouldn't start a business as an entrepreneur here without a business plan, okay, without an idea of, oh, how much can I make? What are my expenses? What do my financials look like? You're going to have to get incorporated, get accountants, get attorneys, get all of that stuff doing. Trading, because it's got a lower barrier to entry, because anybody can trade. Okay, a lot of people just throw that stuff out the window and they just start, watching videos or doing something. I think you have to do more. Okay, so the business framework really changes everything that you do. The most transformative mental reframe available to an income options trader is a simple one. Stop thinking of yourself as a trader and start thinking yourself as a business owner. I want you all to think of that, write it on a sheet of paper. But hey, you are a business owner. You own this trading business. The moment this mental shift occurs to you, then a lot of things are going to start to pop up that you're going to have to deal with first. How do you think about the capital? How are you evaluating your risk and measuring your success? Trading's not a hobby. Okay. Hobbies are, baseball collecting. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a business. Okay. Collecting baseball cards or something. Uh, Crocheting might be more of a hobby. You could turn it into a business. So some hobbies you can turn into a business, but in trading, I don't think you should treat this as a hobby. Hobbies are something you do for fun, but you don't have to win at it, because if nothing happens in your hobby and you get bored of it, you can stop it and you're not really out anything except maybe a couple things that you bought. But trading, you can lose a life savings in trading. You can do something. So a business owner doesn't become emotionally devastated when a planned operating expense occurs. Okay. So if you're owning a business, okay, whether you're Amazon or you own the corner, store here or a diner or something like that, I'm just using these or consulting. Okay. You can't become emotionally devastated when you get like when a planned operating expense occurs. When something doesn't go right and you lose on a sale or something breaks, okay, you can't become emotionally devastated when the toilet backs up in your diner. You can't also abandon a sound business model after one bad quarter. I mean, Amazon didn't make money for years. Okay? A lot of these companies don't make money for years. Now, we don't always have that luxury because we don't have heavy investments of other people giving us money to use here, but everybody's going to have a bad quarter. Okay? Every business is going to have a bad quarter. If we look at, the earnings releases that come out every quarter, I challenge you to find businesses that have never had a bad quarter where they missed or lost money. Okay, it's going to happen. Okay, but nobody abandons their business because it happens. Okay, traders do. Okay, they have a bad quarter, they have a devastating loss, maybe have a 25% loss, 20% loss of their portfolio, and they quit. Okay, as opposed to that didn't go well, but my business plan is still solid. I got to improve it, keep moving on. Also, business owners, they don't compare Q1 results to somebody else's best ever Q4. In fact, you don't really even compare your results to other people's results unless they're exactly the same type of a quarter, it's exactly the same scenario. Okay, I don't care what Igor does or Neil here does or any of the other members that we have here, Time Merchant, whatever. I hope success for everybody. Okay, but I'm not trading my plan just because somebody else has something that's working. Okay, doesn't mean I may not adopt some changes or some things in my own plan. Okay, but I already have a business plan, and it's not going to change because some other competitor, which again, traders here aren't necessarily competitors. Okay, sorry about that. But they're other business owners, and I'm not trying to compare myself to other business owners. One of the things I did uh, when I was running a business, so as a business owner, as a CEO, and as also like an operations manager or a sales manager for business, we would competitive shop. Okay? And people don't understand how to competitive shop. This is actually something I used to train companies on how to shop your competitors properly, especially in sales. Okay? We would sometimes, go into someone's store or we would call or do whatever just to mystery shop people. And what inexperienced managers would do or inexperienced reps or somebody would do is they would go and they would make the mystery phone call, right? And you want to hear how are they selling their product on the phone? Okay. And then they would come back to me and say, they're terrible. They didn't even say this. They had no, they didn't even qualify me. They didn't try to close. They would tell me all the things the competitors were doing wrong. Okay. But what I really wanted was, I want to know what they're doing right. What are they doing that's right? Okay. What do they do that makes their shelves look better than my shelves? What are they doing on the phone that my people aren't doing that we could be doing? So when you competitive shop or you mystery shop, the goal is not to figure out why your competition and other companies don't do something well, okay, and make yourself feel all that much better. It's to make sure that you're constantly learning something from them. So uh, don't compare yourselves here. They have a plan. So good business owners, they have a plan. They track their performance against that plan, and they make methodical adjustments when the data warrants it, and they stay focused on the long-term objectives. And I think that's something that you guys have to make sure you're doing is what was your long-term objective in the plan? If my long-term objective was, well, I'd like to make 20%, 25% this year. Great. Okay. Well, I'm down 5% after the first 2 months. Okay. Okay. Your long-term objective was, I want to make 25%. My goal is to take this trading account that we use in Income Navigator. I'd like to see if we can get it to $2 million in like the next 4 years, by 2030, I think it was. All right, so I got 4 years to do that without adding a single dime to this account. That was the goal, right? And in order to do that, 24% a year, we should be able to do to get it there on schedule, if possible. That's the long-term objective. The short term is just trading the plan, hitting our singles and doubles here, getting our 1-2% a month. Some months we're going to have 4%, some we're going to have 1, and just keep hitting those singles and doubles. A couple quick last things here, and I'll move on, is in a retail business, your inventory is your raw materials that generates revenue, right? You buy inventory, you deploy it, and then the spread between what you paid for it and the selling price, that's going to be your profit. Well, when you're income trading or trading here, capital is your inventory. Premium is what the capital generates when it's properly deployed. Okay? And really, as premium sellers, we're in the insurance business. So we're running an insurance company, essentially. We are selling premium, we're selling risk premium. Okay? So you want to make sure that we're doing it properly here, but you understand that your capital, okay, that's really your inventory, and your premium is what you're generating. And if you have idle capital, okay, which is money just sitting uninvested when qualified setups are available, well, that's the equivalent of having just unsold inventory just sitting in your warehouse, okay, which is it's a cost without any revenue. And I'm also big, and we're deviating here a little bit, that I don't invest in anything that doesn't generate cash, right? So as a mental philosophy, even on a personal level, don't want to invest in assets that don't generate cash. There's a few things that we'll buy because we need them or want them, but I would rather have my money making money. Okay. Good examples, a car, possibly one of the worst investments on planet Earth. Car doesn't generate revenue. Well, it gets me to my business so I can make money. Yeah, but it shouldn't be an expensive output. And do you need a BMW X5 or can you live with a Ford Explorer or something like that? Understanding that the difference in there, if I invested that and I can trade that, which, I can make more money on that. Okay. This is why people buy rental properties and things like that. So investing in assets is important that generate returns. Capital should be deployed into qualified setups. And I remember, I just said too, money that's sitting uninvested when a qualified setup is available. Okay, it's just like leaving that unused inventory out. Well, I'm going to sit out the market a bit. Well, there's times when you should be out of the market, especially if there's no good setups. And for the last couple of weeks, there haven't been great setups. Okay, haven't loved the last couple of weeks setups because the market's going straight up. Okay, but there's other setups out there. Gold looks like a pretty decent setup. Silver, now, but it didn't a month ago. So when there's no setup, it's okay. But when there's opportunities and good setups, okay, then you should be deploying that according to your business plan, right? So just understanding that your capital is your inventory, deploy it when it makes sense and when you get the right setup. Okay? You don't want to buy inferior quality equipment either. So if you're going to buy a product that doesn't sell and loses you money, it's the same thing as buying a bad trade, okay, that didn't make you money. Okay. Some trades make you money, some trades don't make you money, understanding that's the business and you're going to lose. However, what you can do is invest in quality products, which is a quality trade versus just throwing trades on because someone else is doing it. Well, the competitor down the street, he's selling these little stuffed animals, okay, for $5 or something. Well, I'm going to go buy the same ones and I'm going to sell them for $5 or whatever. Well, you don't know that he's actually selling them. He's got them on a shelf, but you don't know if they move. So just copying what he's doing, okay, may not make sense. He also may look at it as a loss leader. Okay? You have no idea what they're doing because you don't know his account size, his business size. Okay, so copying other people's trades, not exactly what you should be doing here. It's learning the strategies and then adapting those to yourself. So lastly here, risk it as an operating cost. Every business has an operating cost. Okay? Expenses that are incurred in the normal course of generating revenue. Some months they produce revenue, some months they don't. A restaurant pays for food and labor and rent, no matter what. the service is cover, whether the service is covering those costs or not. Okay. But those costs aren't failures. It's just the expense of operating the business. Losing trades are your income, trading business's operating costs. So understanding that is not a failure of the business model. The model didn't fail. Okay. We took some operating losses here. We didn't sell our product. Maybe there was a reason for that. Maybe we bought something that doesn't sell, doesn't move, nobody wants. If we're retail, if we're a trader, maybe we took a trade that maybe we shouldn't have done, and or we didn't adhere to our business plan. So I just want to make sure that uh, you really think of putting yourself into the position as a business owner and not just, hey, we're not really traders. And even in the morning, we say, hey, morning traders. Yeah, we're all traders here, but we are running our own business. And you should treat it as such. You should have a business plan. And you want to manage towards that long-term growth. I'll skip to the meat here, but everything should be made through your decision through the lens of long-term capital sustainability. So, does the trade support the growth objective, or does it compromise it? Does the management decision protect capital or gamble on it? Does this month's performance trajectory, or if continued for 5 years, get it to where we need to go? Okay, just thinking through some things right now, you got to make sure that from a business lens, you've put together the right trades and you're managing them like a business. If you are the business owner, the CEO, and your family, maybe your employees, they're counting on you, okay, to generate, or they're your shareholders, they may be counting on you to deliver here. You got to treat it as a business and put together your business plan, okay, which is your trade plan. So your trade plan is your business plan. In my trade plan, we start with the why. Why are you even doing this? Why are you even here? Why are you in this Discord? There's a million other places that you can go. So why are you here? Okay, why did you decide to pony up 150 bucks a month or whatever, okay, to join Discord? Okay, I wanted to learn something, or I saw something there. I want to get better. Okay, but are you serious? Are you serious about running trading as a business? I don't care if you want to make this your full-time business. It's great. It's a nice goal. I don't know that it's a great goal to have. Okay? It works for some of us. For others, I hate for people to give up their W-2 job just to trade. Why not do both? Why not make money and then keep putting it into your trading and investing accounts and have twice the income streams? Then go buy a house and create rental property income. Okay, then go start a little side business as a consultant or whatever you want to do and create some more income. Trading will generate a good amount of income, but there are other income streams, and I'm a firm believer that you should have anywhere from 3 to 5 or more business or at least income streams in your life. Start to think, where can I get more money so I can put it into my trading and my investing, get where I want to go eventually, and don't give it up too soon. All right. That being said, I hope this was helpful. Let's move on then into our regularly scheduled program and take a look at some of the trade opportunities that are out there.